Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the 0 to 100K Instagram challenge. If any of you guys are unaware, we are currently growing an Instagram account from 0 to 100K in 30 days. If you want to learn all about it, there will be a wait list that you can go ahead and join below. We give tips, tricks, daily updates, everything like that. I got Leo here with me again today. If you guys haven't seen the first interview with Leo, I'll leave that linked in the description. If you haven't seen Leo before, go watch that video and then come back here and watch this one, because today Leo's gonna be dropping some bombs. We've moved the account all the way up to the point of 50,000 followers, and now we're going to be talking about how we're able to go ahead and reestablish a network, because we're not using our own network, we're not using existing connections or anything like that. So Leo's going to get on here and he's going to show you guys exactly how being able to go ahead and form completely new relationships, get attention from influencers, and basically build a brand new network from scratch.
And my name is Anthony. I run an Instagram marketing agency and also run a 1 million follower network on Instagram. And I make videos like this to help you take your Instagram account from 0 to hero. So make sure you subscribe, because this is the Instagram Hub.
So with that said, thanks for being here, Leo, and how are you doing?
Appreciate it, man. I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me again.
Awesome. Yeah, so let's talk about it then. You've basically been in charge of basically recreating and rescaling this entire network. So, what's the first thing to go about it? Because I think a lot of people, they don't really know how to create a network from scratch. So what's the first few things you basically did to start creating this?
Yeah, definitely. So as you guys know, me and Anthony have been working on this 100K project for quite some, about 2 weeks now. And we've managed to hit 50K followers in, I think, 16 days. And obviously not leveraging off anyone's network. We've literally just been trying to build from scratch, just so we can put ourselves in your position and pretty much go from the ground up. So I've got a few tips here that I'm going to be sharing with you all. Hopefully this will be able to help you build your own networks and start to grow your accounts a lot faster and get some real targeted followers in. So yeah, to start off, the topic of networking, right? So this is quite an interesting topic, and it goes pretty deep. Obviously, we're not going to go too far into it, but hopefully some of the things I say will be useful for you all. So to start off with, subject lines, right? So a subject line is basically what an influencer or anyone you reach out to will see as the first few words on a post when you reach out to them, right? So essentially, if you're reaching out to someone, you want them to instantly want to open at this message of yours, right? So what you need to do is have something that will actually incentivize them, or even get straight to the point, right? So for example, if you want to purchase a post, for a shout out post, for example, then you need to say within a few words exactly what you're talking about, and even have an emoji in there so it stands out from the other messages. Because the thing is, these influencers are getting tens of messages every single day of people asking for something, without having any real value to exchange. So make sure that you're getting straight to the point with your subject lines, and yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for that.
Right, and then obviously after the subject line, you can make your message as long as you want, but just the first few words to really grab the attention of that influencer, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's like one of the best ways, because like you said, these influencers are getting tons of messages every single day. And the thing is that nobody's giving a value of exchange. Like when I got people who message me and they just beg me to be in a DM group, like I'm not even opening that. You know what I mean? So if you can't do a S for S with a page that's 300K because you don't have a 300K page, then you have no value of exchange other than money. So you need to be doing something. If you don't have money, then you do S for S. If you don't have an account of your own, it needs to be money. There needs to be something there. And when you put that in the subject line, you're going to get them to open the message.
Definitely. Yeah, awesome. So to touch on to the second one, that would be providing value, right? And we mentioned this a little bit just now. But basically, when you're reaching out to people, you have to have some kind of value to exchange, right? So obviously, when you're first starting out, you probably have a small follower base or a small audience, or you don't really have that much to exchange. However, when I first started this whole Instagram space, I remember I had one page which had a couple thousand followers, and I was just like seeing what everyone else was doing. I was just analyzing the trends, and I remember one of the things that I decided to do was to offer my time to a very leading Instagram expert. You know, I said to him, oh, I'm willing to help you out with posting, or I'm willing to help you out with your content. I'm willing to, you know, just do your dirty work, basically. So basically what I did was I pretty much stayed under his wing. You know, I was helping him with everything that he needed help with. And during the process, yes, I was making no money. However, I switched my whole thinking towards long term, right? So in the process, I was learning what the top experts were doing in the space, and I was also able to network with other experts because of my position, you know. So be willing to sacrifice your time if that is the only value that you can provide when you first start off, you know. And also, secondly, another way that you can provide value is by leveraging money, right? I know some of you don't all have money to invest into something like this, but if you are in a position where you can invest money, then leverage it, you know, because your follower, your Instagram account is essentially your business, right? So if you actually want to have an ROI, whether that may be followers or income, then be prepared to invest into that.
Definitely. So always exchanging something. That's so true, because a lot of people are like, well, I have nothing to exchange. I have no money. I have no account. And it's like, well, yeah, you really do have nothing. And therefore, like, no one's the biggest thing in anything is no one's going to be running you favors, right? Like, no one's just going out of their way to, like, just help you with everything, because most people weren't helped. That's the thing. A lot of these influencers, like, they had to learn everything from scratch too. They had to pay the money too. They had to make mistakes. They had to lose money. They had to hire people. So no one's really out here to, like, do people favors. So if you literally have nothing, then what you want to do is exactly what Leo said, which is exchange your time. Like, that's the only option you have. You can either exchange your time, you can keep playing Xbox. It's an easy choice. It's an easy choice if you're a hustler what to do, but have to be exchanging something. Okay, cool. So we basically established, you know, how to get an influencer's attention and how to give value to them when you have basically nothing to give or limited resources to give. But once you work your way in there, right, whether it's through money, whether it's through exchanging time, after you caught their attention, how do you tie that into growing an account for yourself or knowing how to grow an account?
Yeah, definitely. So this ties into DM groups quite a bit here. You know, me and Anthony, we've been leveraging heavily on the whole DM groups and like groups over this period of the past 2 weeks for this page. And one thing that I've noticed, like even on my own pages, that some people, when they reach out to me, they're like, oh, can you add me to a DM group? Can you add me to a DM group? You know, that's the same message that I get every single day. People saying the same thing, right? However, what I noticed is that no one's actually going out of their way to build their own DM group, you know? And this ties into the whole networking stuff, right? You have to be willing to connect people, right? You have to be willing to create your own communities, you know? Reach out to people on Telegram, reach out to people on Instagram, you know? Reach out to people in the Facebook group that Anthony started out, and create your own communities, right? And that instantly puts you at an authority, right? And that allows you to connect with other people who are killing it in the space, you know? So go out of your way and create your own DM groups. And it doesn't matter if you've got a small follower count, right? Because I'll give you an example. When I first started out, I had a page which was about 10,000 followers. This was just over a year ago, right? And I wanted to see how I could possibly like build a DM group, right? So I remember like none of these 100K pages wanted to let me in because I had no provide them, right? So what I said to them was, I said to them that I already had a 100,000 follower plus group, and we already had like 4 people in. And this was a complete lie, to be completely honest with you. But I had to get my foot in the door somehow, right? So I was telling all of these massive pages, I've got a 100,000 follower plus DM group. Do you want to join, right? And when I did that, most times out of 10, they would say yes. You know, of course they would. Why wouldn't they? You know, and then obviously once I had about 5 people saying yes, I'd create my own group, put them all in, and instantly I was able to choose who could join and who couldn't join, even though I had this tiny little page. You know, and eventually I came to a point where I had like a whole DM network, you know, of about 8 groups, and I was able to choose who was allowed to join to the next group of more active users. You know, so it doesn't matter how many followers you got, as long as you think about it creatively, then you can always come out on top.
Right.
So,
and I think I've mentioned that exact strategy on my channel as well at some point in some video, but using that clever wordplay to go ahead and insert yourself into a big DM group. at the end of the day, you still have to create that yourself. It's not that unethical because since you're creating the DM group, you are creating with other 100K accounts. You're just not at 100K. So you're still doing everybody a favor. You're forming the whole DM group. They're going to be in it. And they're definitely still, like, I've never had a problem with them engaging on my content after. Normally they respect the fact that I put together the entire DM group, the entire community, and they go ahead and they let it ride. But I love the point that you brought up, because especially on this account, DM likes have been helping us a ton. One thing that people, actually, I was surprised that people don't know this, but when you get, like, DM groups go further than just getting content on the Explore page. When you go ahead and you like a picture, when someone likes your picture, if you go to your notifications, there's all your notifications for what people done to your page. There's also notifications for what other people are doing. You can see what other people like. So a lot of people actually spend quite a bit amount of time in that space. So when someone of their friends or someone influencers liking your picture, people who are in there who are not coming from the Explore page but coming from that tab are also seeing your content. So DM likes are also helping us to go ahead and reach those people, like just like other people who are either in that section that aren't coming from the Explore page. And I love the point that you brought up where it's like everybody's asking to be added to a DM group. And what happens when you ask? You gave the ball to someone else's court. The ball is no longer in your court when you ask because now you're waiting, right? I have no incentive to add you to a DM group faster. I have no incentive to get you added real quick. You're waiting and you put yourself in a losing position. Whereas too, if you're like, hey, I'm creating this, do you want to be a part of it? Now you're creating it. There is no waiting, and you add it in as fast as you want. And you're not just sitting. You're not just sitting around doing nothing, basically. All right, so we are at 50K now as of recording this. So the growth is going, the growth is happening. So from here on out, this documentation is gonna be mainly really talking about the growth because the building phase is over, right? The pin stories are set, the profile setup's good. We know it's converting followers, but now it's really about the growth. So I know we have a few other videos planned, but we also wanna go ahead and talk about something that's really working well for us now. So when you're running DM groups, realize a lot of people are running their DM groups wrong. There's a lot of things that come into play. And Leo, I know you know a lot of the metrics that are going on for the account right now. Do you want to kind of tell what you're seeing?
Yeah, definitely. So I noticed that when everyone creates their DM groups, it's pretty free flowing, Everyone just chucks in their post and they just hope for the best, right? But I've been studying how Instagram's been performing lately, and I've noticed something pretty interesting, right? So we did this exact test on the Red Pill Success page, actually, and I'm going to be sharing you exactly what we did and how you can do it for yourself. But essentially what we did was we created a like group on Instagram, and we had set rules. So people could only join the group if they were posting at a specific time. They weren't posting at that specific time, then they wouldn't be added to the more active group. So there's always an incentive for them to join, right? So make sure when reaching out to these influencers or before you let an influencer in, you have to make sure that they're aware that they need to post at 3 specific times, right? Typically what we do is 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. EST, right? Those are the 3 round times, right? And everyone needs to post at one of the 3 times each day, okay? And as soon as one of these times comes on, everyone in the group will send out their picture, right? So you're all receiving engagement within the first 3 to 5 minutes, right? And what I noticed is when you receive engagement in the first 3 to 5 minutes, that's where your potential to hit the Explore page, well, tons of different Explore pages, exponentially grows. Like the difference between one picture that we posted had about 20,000 impressions, and then we also did another post a few days later that got about 55,000 impressions, and that was because we actually made sure that the people that were liking and commenting on our pictures were actually high quality accounts that were engaging in the first 3 to 5 minutes. So always make sure you have that rule in place if you can, because it will definitely increase your chances of hitting that Explore page.
Gotcha. And now you said you picked 3 times. Are these 3 times random? Are they just times that everybody should be on, or are they like prime times for your account? Like, did you research the analytics or?
So those 3 times are the times that like rounds, just over a year ago, those are the times that like rounds were working best, right? There were always 3 times, 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 3 p.m. And of course, in the US, those are the times that people are typically most active, right? And yeah, I think those are the best times that you can go ahead and shoot for.
Right. It also does a lot for targeting. We're probably gonna be posting a lot of like screenshots and pictures in the Facebook group of everything. And right now we've been posting at select times that are for the US because I wanted to retain mainly a US audience, right? I only want followers really from the US, Australia, Canada, you know, UK. Like those are the only followers we really want, like tier 1 countries that are really good for, you know, buying stuff because we're gonna monetize this account after. And we've been posting it specifically US times, and by using also like US based influencers, our what is it? We're like at like it's all United States. It's almost all United States.
All US, UK, Canada, I can't remember what the others are.
Yeah.
It's literally all.
But it's like the bar is like we're gonna post a ton of screenshots in the Facebook group, so get in there, guys, and we'll post it. But yeah, it's nuts how much just the timing of things. So if you were let's say in Japan, you want to target, you know, Japanese followers, if they even have Instagram, I'm not even really sure what their social media out there is like. But isn't it China? Doesn't China or some of them have their own social media platforms?
Yeah.
It's one of them. I don't know if Japan's part of it, but let's just say Japan does have it and you wanted to get Japanese followers, you'd want to be posting it like, okay, like when do Japanese people get off work? Like what time is that? What time does that correlate to me? And then using those like rounds at those 3 specified times, you're going to boost it. You get your targeting up and you're going to gain more followers, hitting the explore page for certain people.
Right, guys, thank you so much for staying until the end of the video. Anthony, thank you very much for having me here. Hopefully you guys found that useful. If you have any questions, drop a comment and I'll try my best to answer some of these questions. So the next milestone, I believe it's going to be 75K followers. And Anthony's going to be dropping some huge value on that post. If you haven't already, check out the waitlist because we're dropping tons of value on a daily basis there. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.
You got it. Keep grinding, keep hustling, take the red pill. See you all in the next one.